Ahlan, 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 and welcome to this episode of Listen Habibi. Guys, this has been an episode I have been waiting to do for so long. I'm here with my bestest friend in the whole entire universe. Many of you have been awaiting this episode for quite some time, and rightfully so, because this girl has quite a story to tell us. And I am so proud to be sharing a room right now with Martina Ibrahim.
Hello!
The light herself. So get ready, guys. Sit back, relax, and listen into this one. It's going to be good. حبيبي يا عيني يا عيني يا ليلي يا مسهر عيني بنهاري وليلي حبيبي يا عيني. Hi, Martina.
Hello, love.
I love you so much.
Too.
Guys, we have been waiting to do this episode since I started my podcast back in 2020. Me and Martina have been soul sisters for so long, and we kept saying, oh my God, we need to record an episode together. What it would actually be like is we would be amidst an amazing deep conversation. Yes. And you would be like, why don't we have a microphone on?
Alhamdulillah, nahna hoon.
Yeah, I'm graced with your beautiful presence.
Oh.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, introduce yourself to the listeners. Also tell us about how you had a podcast for a while, what you think is special about talking and telling stories.
I'm Martina Ibrahim, and Adeline and I have been soul sisters for years now. We've truly seen each other evolve and metamorphosize to go from playing basketball with our unibrows to currently laying in a bed recording this podcast because my neck's hurting.
She's got a neck roll and everything, guys.
Just, I guess, to go off of what Adeline was saying and me introducing myself, I am just like everybody else, but I love rock climbing and spending time in nature. I'm very passionate about children, especially children who have grown up in conflict areas in the world, and the healing power of nature and movement on their roads to recovery, especially regarding their mental psyche. When I think of life, I just envision myself living as close to the trees and the animals as I possibly can, and following in the footsteps of my teta and jiddu. They're farmers in Lebanon, and
I love that.
Riding the waves of life.
So beautiful. So beautiful. Martina is Lebanese Italian. Where's your family from in Lebanon? Tell the listeners.
We're from Mayfouq el-Qatara. And we also live in Amshit too.
You've had such beautiful times visiting.
Very much so.
When did we meet? It was 6th or 7th grade, or was it even 5th?
I think it was 7th grade.
7th grade. I was playing for St. Catherine's basketball, and you were with St. Bridget's.
Yes, I was.
And we met there somehow. Did we exchange Instagrams?
I found you randomly.
Did you?
I looked up hashtag St. Catherine. I was pulling a Sherlock Holmes. I was like, I know this woman's Lebanese. I know it.
Yeah. And then, oh, yes, you followed me. We DM'd.
Yes.
And we just hit it off from there. We got so much closer in high school. And like you said, we've been together through thick and thin, through so many versions of ourselves. We were so young. Do you remember when you were at that school in Braintree, that international school?
Oh, God, yeah. We were so young, and we were going through just the hormone changes of being a growing child into teenagehood. And boy drama and family drama.
That never went away. Now we just talk about it a little different. But the boy drama remains.
But then also aspiring to be the woman that we knew we were in our hearts, and what made our souls be set on fire. every conversation was always about our hearts and where we wanted to go and truly what was in our souls for the future.
What do you think brings us together in that sense? Like, what do you think makes us similar and connect the way we do?
Our ability to ask ourselves the most uncomfortable questions, to face ourselves, our passion for humanity, and the trials and tribulations of this world and life, and together, how we seek change.
I also think like our Lebanese identity too. And the conflict that comes with like being American Lebanese and having the dual identity and like the strength and the beauty in our culture as well. I think so. Something that always brings me closer to Martina is how we are able to bond like on the deep, deep level. Where I feel like me and you I think we kind of struggle to have small talk. Like I don't see it.
What even is that?
We don't have small talk. Like I don't. Like, today, I was walking around with Martina, and she goes, so how's your heart? You know what? That's such an amazing question. Like, how's your heart? How's your heart doing? We don't know how to, like, keep it surface. We talk about, like, deep existence and, like, love and how those things can exist together. What do you feel like is something, of all the things that we've bonded over, where do you feel like I uplift you the most and you uplift me?
We spoke about it today, the boundaries that we have and that we need to honor within ourselves. And every time I talk to you, it's this uplifting reminder that I need to know my self-worth and I need to not settle for less and I need to honor where I begin and another person begins and how it's not a shared destination all the time.
That's beautiful.
Truly, though, you help me remember who I am at my core.
I love
and
you.
Remembering that what is inside is sacred and a gift, and the world is ours to conquer.
I believe that.
Yeah.
I really believe that. And I think for you and me, it's very similar where you make me feel understood and seen completely. And I think that there's very few people in my life that, like, have the capacity and the space to understand me the way that you do. And it's so important to find those people in this life that can carry you completely. And that doesn't mean like as a burden or like, you know what I'm saying, but in a sense that like there's space and there's room for you as you are completely, with every layer, with every complication, with every, that's how I feel about you.
I'm grateful I can be that to you.
I love you.
I feel the same way. I love you too.
So let me tell you a little bit about Martina. Martina is a free spirit. She's like literally my spirit animal. Like if I could be as adventurous and risque as Martina, I dream. She's extremely well traveled. She knows so many types of people from totally different types of life. And she has such beauty and her confidence because of all the things she's seen and all the people she's met. And I really would love for you to share with us, like, what has travel meant for you? What has understanding and learning from different people and different ways of life shown you? When we were all recently talking and praying for you, something that I said and that was said is that, like, you've lived so many lifetimes in this one lifetime. And that's such a beautiful, profound thing that not many people get to say, especially our age. That, like, you don't fit into any rigid mold that anyone puts for you. You navigate life and you're like a pioneer with courage and strength, and like talk about what that's like for you, like living outside of the mold.
I've just always liked to walk to the beat of my own drum. I don't like to be told what to do. I just like to figure things out on my own, and sure, that's been a double-edged sword, but what better way to learn than through experience, quite frankly. I will say that a privilege in many ways that I had that was also a drawback is that my father's the Lebanese one, and not growing up with him granted me the freedom to become the wild woman that I've evolved into, because things would have been very different if he was at home, and I had a man to listen to and to guide me in certain ways. But in regards to traveling, I enjoy the feeling of just being this small entity and meeting people on the road, making music with people that you meet on the street corner, sharing a joint. I live for those moments of connection, whether it's around a campfire or just a simple hello that turns into a beautiful smile. And then it's like, oh, I made a new friend, you know? And then they share their life story with you, and you say God bless to each other, and you continue on your way. It's the mystery of life. And all I know is that by the time I create a family of my own one day, I want to be the woman that I always felt lived in my heart. And my existence now has become an example of who she has always been and who I saw myself to be when I was a little girl.
Talk more about that. What do you mean by that?
Well, as a little girl, I always had big aspirations to give back and to help others. And nowadays, even though right now I'm out of work, working with children as a climbing instructor and sharing my love and adoration for climbing with little children, and then working with horses and animals and helping with equine assisted therapy, being able to help children navigate life from a stance of movement and animals has been one of my greatest privileges, because animals and movement are so healing for the psyche. Anyone out there who's sad, go join a climbing gym.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm a walking advertisement for joining a climbing gym.
Loves.
You have access to community, and you have access to a wall that you get to go up against every single day, and just envision you going up against yourself and becoming that person, that figure of strength that you know that you are deep down, but sometimes you need to have a physical representation of it. You know, it's tapping into your beast mode. Yeah. And I know that right now, studying psychology and wanting to become a children's wilderness therapist, I pray to share animals and climbing and all sorts of movement, skateboarding, surfing, all of it, dance especially, with the children, especially children who have been through hell and back. And they don't even realize it because they can't comprehend it yet. But then they're going to become adults who are deeply hurt, deeply wounded. All that we are children in decaying adult bodies. And if we can help the children now and help them learn how to regulate their emotions, especially through movement and teaching them different ways to transmute their rage and their anger, we could save a generation of people. But it starts with the little things, like sharing that compassion and love with a child and being there to listen to them and support them. And maybe people are like, wow, you're being too positive, but no, there's no such thing as being too positive with a child because the world is already dark enough. You need to uplift them.
I think like something similar to you, like with what you were describing with climbing. I think that's why like I've loved boxing and taking on boxing, because it's like it's a representation of you can conquer anything, and you can, like any challenge, you are strong enough, and there's like a certain power I think that comes out of like what you would want to teach those kids, right? Like that you can claim that power. Where do you feel like that comes from within us? Like why do we feel like we need to have that example of power?
One of my limiting beliefs is always feeling like I'm not good enough, but through climbing, I was able to show myself, no, I am good enough. I am strong enough. I'm worthy enough. And I'm a strong woman.
Hell yeah.
You know?
You're more than a strong woman. I think so too. I think like our hearts, like we were talking earlier, I don't want to say our hearts make us weak, but there is something special about reclaiming control and power in our bodies and in ourselves, because I think that like emotionally we're very intelligent and we're very giving, to the point that it's easy to lose sight of, like, no, I can reclaim this. I can, do you know what I'm saying? For me, when I go out to box, maybe similarly to what you do for when you go to climb, if I'm boxing, I'm showing up with maybe frustration, anger, like things, whether it's in myself or in others or whatever it is, things that I don't project out to the world because I think our hearts are so big, and like, I don't find myself as an angry person. When I show up to this space, I feel like I can gain control and strength within those vulnerabilities, and I can reclaim that power that I feel like our society and our world takes from us because we are so loving, because we are so caring and gentle. Does that make sense?
Definitely. Definitely, that does make sense. And having a physical representation of something that you can show up to in the everyday life and have tangible results and a tangible example of, okay, today this is the fight.
Yeah.
And we're all fighting for our own lives. Of course, we all have it different, but we're all fighting for something deep down. We're fighting our demons, and having a way to transmute that rage is a beautiful gift.
I agree.
It is. Like, climbing for me, I found it in high school, and thank God I did, because I wanted to kill myself, and I was facing so many dark demons and thoughts in my head. But then I found climbing, and I found this community and sport that made me feel like I was home.
It was
and
like
that
freedom.
was the first time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
It saved my life. And that's why I say it to everyone, because you meet a lot of people in the climbing community who are recovering addicts, who have suffered from many mental health issues in their own pasts. And you can ask anybody. They'll say climbing saved my life. And that's why I say to anybody out there, go join a climbing gym.
Yeah, move your body.
Yes, it's beautiful movement. It's a dance with the wall. It's a dance with the rock. And then when you finally get to go outside and touch that real rock, it will change your life. Like, oh my goodness, I've never felt closer to heaven. It's heaven.
So do you feel like nature and heaven, our faith is like very heavily correlated?
Definitely.
Like being outside and moving your body.
100%. 100%.
It is beautiful. Do you feel like you've grown closer?
It's hard to say, because I've gone through pivots in my relationship with God and Jesus. One thing, though, that always remains true for me is that whenever I go back home to Mayfouq and I'm with my grandparents there, because when I'm with them, it's just the two of us, the three of us, and the chickens and the mountains. And we live such a simple life, working in the garden and drinking shai and zeytoun and bread next to the little gas heater. The simple life, and that's when I feel closest to God, actually, when I'm around my grandparents. But recently, with my own health struggles, and then with this practice I adopted, where every morning I go into the woods with my dogs and we walk for an hour, sometimes 3 hours, and I pray, and I just spend my mornings praying to God and walking and observing the birds and the trees, and I'm with my babies, and it's just the most beautiful way to start my day.
College definitely challenged me to explore my faith, and specifically this last year, I think too, like post-grad, I've had to really sit with wondering why I believe in what I believe, what's the power here. On a deeper level, like what's the negativity around things here too, like believing in a evil power as well, and understanding how those things are both equally existent, and how we need to fear God in a way that like protects us from the negativity as well. And that's, I think, how like God shows up in my life. Do you feel like, are you comfortable to talk about what happened with you and like the role of God and how he's been, or Marsharabil, for instance, has been like a strong figure? There's like 6 things of Marsharabil around me right now. I see Marsharabil on the wall. There's a book of Marsharabil next to me here. There's a statue over there. It's a bit dikyane, but
Akid.
if you want to tell your story, you're more than welcome.
Definitely. It's the first time I am telling it, so I'm excited. I'm kind of like, ooh, I've never told the story before like this. But February 14th of this past year, I had a spinal cord stroke, and it completely changed my life. I went from well and healthy and living a very active lifestyle, climbing and dancing and horses in the woods, to being paralyzed in a hospital bed within hours. And I didn't know what was going on, but every time I look back, I realize that it was the closest visit I've ever had with death. And death was knocking on my door. And in that moment, I just trusted in God. And I've been praying, 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 praying every day. And I have so many beautiful souls in this world praying for me too. My teta, she's praying for me. My brother has been the most beautiful support ever during this time. He's been caring for me. And God has proven to me that I can trust in him, and I can trust in Jesus, and I can trust in the path that I'm on. Even before all of this, I always had the motto in my head, guided by spirit. That would always be my internet password. Nobody look it up. Guided by spirit has been my password for years. And it's just trusting in the mystery of life and the Holy Spirit and God, whatever you believe in. Because when we feel that inkling or a draw or a pull in a certain direction, either it can be the devil or it can be God. But I'd like to think that we are reasonable individuals who are able to discern and decipher what is good and what is evil. And this is one of those instances where I was being guided by God and I was saved. And I read a quote. It was, God broke my heart to save my soul. And in many ways that relates, because before all this, I was living a very healthy, pure life, but then there was also another side to it that was not good for my health. And God broke my heart to save my soul, to re-guide me and to save me, and I feel that so deeply. And
that's so beautiful.
Truly, though, like truly, that's how it feels in my heart. And now I'm just on my path to recovery. Thank God, alhamdulillah, I'm not paralyzed anymore.
She's being so freaking humble. She's like, yeah, and then this, and then this. This girl has been busting her ass. Like physical therapy 8 hours a day. Get up, run, get up, walk. Stretch this, stretch that. But honestly, by the grace of God, she is walking again. Martina, you're literally so incredibly strong and courageous. And I think that quote about God broke my heart to save my soul is so beautifully applicable. And it's not only with our like emotional well-being, it's like he can break the flesh. He can break the flesh. He can break us down to wake us up and remind us. And I still remember you telling me, and even just now what you said, like I came so close to dying, and my soul was saved. And like just hearing your testimony and talking about how like literally you're just moving your legs now. I still remember, do you remember I walked into the hospital one day? I was just doing a little visit. This was like what, last month maybe?
Yes.
I walked in and Martina's laying in bed and I'm like, hey girl, like what's up? I walk into Mass Gen and then all of a sudden she starts like twitching her legs and like moving her legs. I looked up at her. I was like, you're moving? She goes, surprise! I bawled my eyes out. I literally,
Waterworks.
I just like, something was lifted off of my chest that day because I think it was like, obviously it was really, really hard hearing about what was going on with you. Like getting the call from Eli and then going to see you and then like understanding this is going to be a journey for Martina. Like, I'll be there for her. She's going to have to face a lot of difficulty now, but like, she has the power. Obviously, as like one of your closest friends, that was so heavy because you didn't deserve like to go through any of this. But the way that you frame it and the way that you believe it at your core, and even me, that things happen for a reason, even though we will never understand. Maybe we will never understand. There's always something happening behind the scenes that we don't know about.
Definitely.
And God will only ever give you a cross that he knows you're strong enough to carry. And this is one hell of a cross, let me tell you. Like, Martina is learning to walk again. She's standing up and she is like literally so powerful in that. Like you said, you broke down your heart, you broke down your flesh to rebuild you and to strengthen you. And people
100%.
would kill for a rebirth like that. It is. It's a rebirth.
And you know what's wild too is that in January I got baptized again.
You did?
I did.
So, guys, remember when I told you in last episode that Martina's a little bit all over the place? Sometimes I don't know where she is, what she's up to. Yeah. You got baptized again in January?
Yes. Eli and I both did.
Wait, what? In Puerto Rico?
Yes, on a beach.
Girl, bye. Girl, bye. Are you serious?
And
oh my God, how was that?
It was beautiful. And
you think that was like a rebirth of the year?
100%. Because even I told you before that I had this hunch going into this new year that something was going to happen this year. I didn't know what, but I knew something was going to happen. And I even spoke to one of my girlfriends at work a couple of weeks before, saying, you know that feeling right before you die when things just seem a little too eerily well, but you're also saying your final goodbyes. And having that conversation with her, having this premonition that something was going to happen, and deep down in my heart, I knew that I just needed to accept it with grace, no matter what it was. And then having my stroke and being in the ER and feeling so bad. I knew in that moment, I was like, oh, this is what I was preparing for. So I knew this was it. I was like, it's here now, you know? And I saw my brother, and immediately when he saw me, he was bawling. And as soon as he came up to me, I said, Eli, I'm going to be fine. Let's just pray. Trust in God. And we were praying together. And from that day on, we've gone every single day saying a prayer together. He would pray over my body. When people would come to visit me, we'd all pray together. It's just the power of God. You know, thinking about this spinal cord stroke, it hit my C1 and C5 vertebrae. And most people who go through that kind of spinal cord stroke, because usually cervical spinal cord strokes are very rare.
Incredibly rare.
0.001%
like
of strokes.
Odds are insane.
Exactly. And generally, if a person suffers from a spinal cord stroke, it's in their thoracic spinal region. Mine was in my cervical spine, and that is what impacts your limbs, your breathing, everything in your body, everything underneath that C1, C5 vertebrae of your spinal cord is impacted. And I genuinely should have been on a ventilator. I was so close to death because most people do not make it out alive with that kind of spinal cord stroke. So all I can say is just thank God. Because oof. Katar khair Allah. I'm still here. You know, I don't know how to put it into words. I'm still in shock myself.
I'm proud of you for talking about it.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you for finding the words, because even, like, obviously we've talked about this and, like, your testimony it's like, it's not only in faith, like obviously God's role in all of this, but just your story of perseverance, and like what that like shock of life, of reality comes, like when you're laying there in that moment, you talk about it and you express your that fear and acknowledgement of like, this is how fragile life is. Like, this is how fragile our existence is, and it's so important for us to be so grateful for every moment. It puts things in such an existential perspective, right? Of like,
yes,
you're a beautiful soul, and God put us on this earth for a reason. The chances of you surviving this, the chances of you you are a blessing. That was a miracle. You're walking again. That's another miracle. Why is this happening? Do you ever stop? Like, where do you feel like your heart and soul are right now?
I feel much more connected to the Martina I was when I was a child, and her closeness to God. Because even when I was a child, I would pray the rosary every day, and genuinely, I thought I was going to become a nun.
Really?
I did. I really felt this call to become a nun, and I was terrified of that because I was like, oh my goodness, but I want to have a family. I want children.
That's crazy.
So I don't think that path is a part of my path at the moment, but I just said that because at that point in my life, as a second grader, a third grader, I felt so connected to God and to the Holy Spirit and Jesus. And as I got older, I strayed away through family hardships, and now I feel that I'm back. And before all of this, I was walking a different path. Can I talk about that?
Yes, you can speak openly about
Really?
whatever you're
Okay.
comfortable with. Yeah.
Okay. Because before all of this, I was working as a performer in a strip club, and I had done different drugs, and I was smoking a lot of weed, and I would drink some alcohol, and I was becoming a figment of my imagination. And I always knew that I wasn't walking the right path, but it came from that wild side of me that just wanted to grab life by the horns and embrace it all, you know? I love experiences. I'm a very explorative person, and I don't judge anybody for wanting to know what the wild side is like, because we only have this one life. And when people tell you no, that makes the no that much more enticing.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
And I'm just so grateful that once again, God broke my heart to save my soul, because I was feeling very drained and very sad and very not like myself. I would look in the mirror and be like, who the heck is that looking at me? You know, who am I becoming? And I was in relationships with men who liked cocaine, and I would do cocaine with them. And I was just becoming a Martina that I was not proud of. And I was always in this battle with my own heart and my own soul of the path that I wanted to walk, and then also the path of the ones that I was surrounded by. And I hold nothing against them, because I know that they were all battling their own demons. And at that time, I was struggling with my own feelings of self-worth. There's a thing called self-harm by proxy, and it's when you actively harm yourself through other means. Just like if you hurt your body with substances, or you have a lot of unsolicited sex, and you're doing drugs or drinking, or putting yourself in abusive relationships that are actively killing your heart and soul.
Yeah.
But in a way, you feel like you deserve it.
Yeah.
And that was something that I would do. And I don't want to do that anymore, because right now I want to walk a path of purification and coming back to me. I have no other dream in this life other than being a mother, and a mother to all of the children that I encounter, and being that woman that they can look to and find comfort and safety within. And I want to be a wife one day. I want to have a family. I want to prove to myself that
You will be.
having a family is,
You will
you
be.
know,
You'll be the most beautiful wife, the most beautiful mother. I'm like ready to cry right now. Like your courage and your soul. I remember when we were little girls.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Mm.
And I'm really proud of you. We just had these dreams of helping the world. Like that's all I think that we could clarify between each other. We never knew how it was going to happen. We never knew in what way, and like it was all bound through love. I think we just have such powerful love, and it can become intoxicating. Like I always say to people when I describe our relationship, or even I say this to your face, you know this, that like you said it, we're cut from the same cloth in a way that our souls are the same, but we just chose life differently.
Ooh.
Do you know what I mean? And like there are stories you tell me about your life that I crave the freedom and the courage it takes to be who you embody. And yes, life will bring us down dark paths. And sometimes we need to do things to learn. And God is the only judge at the end of the day. If you ever let anyone judge you, God is the only judge, and he sees and knows us so well, and he forgives us.
Mm-hmm.
I think that like there are certain things about you that I will always aspire to be like. Like I swear, you live a life of courage. You live I keep saying courage because it takes courage. It takes confidence to stand out and to be yourself authentically and genuinely, and to call out a mistake when it happens or explain an experience. I know there's things about you that I love, and I know there's things about me that you love. I think we're the same soul. We're literally like soul sisters.
Yes, we are.
And we live vicariously through each other. I don't know. Do you feel that way? Or like when I hear you talk, I cry because I just remember us as little girls.
We were cute little girls too.
Were like, you were always there for me.
Oh.
And I always loved to be there for you. But I also can't help but wonder if this was meant to be, because of the way you just spoke about yourself, about your goals, about your dreams, about who you are, what you want to be, and like what this has all meant for you on a deep soul level. It's literally like a rebirth.
It feels like it.
And it is like old Martina.
You're right.
I don't think you ever strayed from that little girl.
Mm-hmm.
I just think she was deep inside of you crying. And vice versa.
She was so hurt and sad.
I think me too, through some experiences that obviously, like guys, I was in a very difficult relationship for quite some time as well, for 3 years, and like I lost myself completely. And I don't talk about it as openly, like as much with courage as you do, but like we were talking about it all day today, me and Martina, about our capacity for love and understanding and being HSPs, highly sensitive people. And like what it,
the lingo.
Yeah, like the psychological explanation of like how we feel so deeply, and like, and in reality, there are just children in all of us. And we owe it to ourselves to protect those little girls and protect our love and our purity and sanctity with God as well, like protecting our souls. I think your healing is a testament to that. I feel like you were given the blessing to walk again, to stand up again, because there's a bigger mission for you here in this life.
Yes. 100% amen.
And like watching my best friend go through this for the last 2-3 months has been torture, but also it has reaffirmed my faith in ways that like I didn't have before. And I told you this already. Through your rebirth, through your healing journey, through what happened to you, I have also seen God in a different, I swear to God.
No, that's beautiful. If that brought you closer to God, what more can you ask for? You know, seriously.
You're so strong.
I feel like it's brought so many more people, though, closer to God.
Do you know how many people were reaching out to me and praying for you?
That is so sweet.
I swear to God,
Thank you, everyone.
Just from like what I was posting or what I call like your story resonates because you're authentically and genuinely yourself. You wear your heart on your sleeve. Everyone knows you as that girl.
Oh.
Everyone knows you as that girl. And I never want you to ever lose faith in...
I love you.
Jinx! Guys, like, this is literally me and Martina. I feel like it took us a while to get warmed up, but, like...
Here we are.
Here we are. Like, as I was saying earlier, I was doing research. So, do you want me to tell you the other night? I was sitting with Becca.
Yes.
2 a.m. We were in bed. I was sleeping over her apartment.
Mm-hmm.
And I came across this, like, little piece of poetry about... it's so sad, but it's about... how our moms will never be around to watch us grow old. And they watched us take our first breath, but they didn't get, like, they're not going to get to see our last breath, whatever. It was just a piece of poetry on, like, Instagram.
Yes.
When I tell you, I broke down crying. My sister's like, bro, what's wrong with you? And I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm like, I can read a piece of poetry, feel it in my soul. Like, it's just raw. Like, it's raw emotion. And I can go and transport myself to that emotion. It's like the reality and the emotion, the line between those two are blurred.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I need to understand how I can just do this. I'm like, I'm not on my period. I'm like, what gives me the power to just connect with this deep side of me like this in a second? And so I started doing research. I started talking to Claudette, my girl Claudette. And I was like, XYZ, this is what I face, right? I have trouble watching sad movies because I cry every time. I can't watch Grey's Anatomy without wanting to rescue every single one of them. For instance, that Christian show that I told you to watch, Chosen, every episode I bawl my eyes out because I just feel it so deeply in my heart and in my soul. I love taking pictures and capturing moments, but it hurts me to go back and reflect. I become avoidant. I can't do it. Songs, poetry, art, photography, things like that connect me deeply. And I love to talk with others. I can empathize really, like I can't see war. It's really difficult for me to know my people in Lebanon are suffering and I'm here. Like all those things that exist heavily between us.
Yes, yes.
Where does this come from? And there's a psychological understanding by a study done, I think, in the 1990s about HSPs and how 15 to 20% of our population has this capacity of depth and understanding. And it's so under-researched. It's so underexplored. And I sent you it because I know you're my HSP sister. But, like, I'm not researching for a diagnosis. I'm researching for an understanding of how are we like this? How do we view people like us are able to be in society? And are you ever walking in public and you just remove yourself? You look around and you're like, everyone around me is living their own life. You can like suddenly see the scene in front of you in third person, like from bird's eye view. I'm just in my body right now, but like eventually all this will go on without me.
Ooh, yes.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying.
That feeling?
It's comparable. I compared it to Van der Waals interactions.
Okay.
Have you heard of Van der Waals interactions? So it's basically an electromagnetic charge on the smallest of scales, but you have, oh goodness, I've not explained this in a while. So Van der Waals interactions are very prevalent with H2O bonds between molecules, and in large numbers they are very strong. But when it's a smaller number of molecules interacting with one another, they're relatively weak, but they're within all of the bonds that we experience between our electrons and protons and neutrons. For all my science friends out there, I'm sorry, I'm not doing justice for van der Waals interactions right now. I have not explained this in about a year. But anyways, I compare it to the bird's eye view of looking down at these interactions, because you see all of these electrons interacting with one another and repelling and then going towards one another. And we're like these electrons. Life still goes on. People are still interacting with one another. We're dots just orbiting around each other's lives, coming closer, going farther. And to fathom that truth can make you go crazy.
Yeah. It is
existential
despair. Do you know that there's people that just don't think like that, like us, like they don't have the capacity to unlock that. Lucky them, right? Literally. But like they just don't have the capacity. I was telling Martina, like, I am so emotionally and socially aware that like I'll be in an interaction and I can notice like 10 different facts of the person sitting in front of me without like having anything to do with what's coming out of their mouth.
You know what it is though? You need to write more. Because you are an amazing writer. Really? You are an artist, yes. And the thing is, you have so much fuel for your fire. But when we just sit with these emotions and we don't create something out of it, that's when it turns into that existential despair.
Yeah.
But I know you, and I know you're writing. Yes, you have the creative fire to transmute everything you're feeling into a product that could be shared with the masses, whether it be through writing or painting or music. That's your muse. That's your fuel. Unfortunately, if we're unable to transmute it, it turns into a poison within our bodies.
Yeah.
You know?
It is. It needs an outlet.
It does.
I was writing an email to my professors, and I'm writing. And this was actually the same day I was doing the research about like HSPs or whatever. And I was talking about my Crohn's disease. And then I was talking about how nobody studies the soul. Like, nobody in my space, like, of our autoimmune disease. I said most of the women I know, unfortunately, in my life thus far, have some form of gut, stomach, or fertility issue. Whether it's PCOS, endometriosis, IBD, IBS, whatever it is, like, and it disproportionately is affecting women. Why? And nobody is studying the connection between the brain and the gut and our souls, our emotions, and why is it impacting our food? Obviously sucks. Like, that's not a question. Our healthcare needs help, or, you know, the state of the world, all these things. But genuinely, I feel like this is an underexplored area of the power that emotions can have on our physical health. And I think having an outlet like you just described, I was writing it and I was like, oh my God, first of all, it's been so long since I've written something from the heart. And then it's just flowing out of me. And I'm like, damn. Like, like, damn, like we don't make time. I don't make time for it. It's like, I'm so academic, I'm so rigid, whatever, that like, I want to be loved for all the layers of me, and I need to start with me. I need to start by loving me that way. Ooh. Do you know what I mean?
Ooh. Mic drop. Yes.
Like, when you look for a guy, don't you want someone that can like embrace the nerdy academic side of you, as well as the music, the poetry, the dancing, the culture, like,
definitely,
you know, and how can we expect that of someone else if we can't?
No, we have to be our first lovers.
Yeah.
So much easier said than done, but at least you're aware and you know what the next step is.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of carving time, putting that pen to the paper, and just doing it, sitting down, expressing rage when need be, and then also being respectful and being kind and exploring all of the in-betweens of the human emotional spectrum. It's one of our rights. You know, I feel like I come from a family where, and you can probably relate to this too, for sure. On my mom's side and my dad's side, it feels like the women were silenced and pushed into scenarios that they didn't want to be a part of. getting married off super young because that was the only answer to their prayers. And then being with shitty, abusive men and struggling to find their own voices. I don't want to be like that. When I think of the woman I want to be for my future daughter, I want to teach my daughter how to stand up for herself and to speak up. But I had to learn that myself first, and music and art was one way that I could really plant that seed and nurture it.
You mentioned many times that you want to be a mom.
Yes.
Like, what do you think about being a fully healed mom and, like, that process of, like, choosing the right partner? When is the right time to have a family? What has this experience with your health shown you about being a mother? Like, delve into that, because we've talked so many times about, like, this is, like, your biggest dream now. I want to be a mom. I want to be a mom. So, like, what does that look like for you?
Oof. Oh my goodness. Being a mother will be the most beautiful blessing that I could ever be granted. Because the thing is, when a woman becomes a mother, she's forever changed. You have this extension of yourself, whether you adopt, whether you birth a baby yourself, you will never be the same woman because your body has undergone this insane hormonal shift. You now have a piece of your heart living in another being. When I think of the healed version of myself being a mother, I just pray to instill love and hope into my children. And I want to be the parent that I wished I had, you know, just supporting them with all of my heart and lifting them up. Also not giving it to them too easy, because you got to work for things in your life. Teaching children the value of hard work is so important. But then also providing stability and a foundation for them to thrive, because that is your responsibility as a parent. You know, not every child has to have it hard, because then they spend so much of their life just trying to dig themselves out of that hole. And it's not fair to them at all. But I envision myself homeschooling my children, living on a farm, teaching my children the ways of the land, showing them that you don't have to have much to be happy as long as you have the trees and musical instruments and arts and crafts and kind people around you and kind dialogue within yourself. You truly have it all.
Yeah.
A life of simplicity. And when it comes to finding a partner, oh my God. Oh, my mentality before, I was like, I'm just gonna have a man impregnate me and I'm gonna be a single mom.
Just have a sperm donor. Like,
that's too expensive.
Yeah, but it's like, yeah, I agree. I think your partner is one of the most important decisions you make in your life.
And we were talking about that today, and you were so right. It is the only person that you get to choose who will actively join your family.
Yeah.
And
I mean, you're like my sister. You're like my family as well. And I choose you every day, even though you drive me crazy. But no, for real. Like, that is the one person in your life that you get to choose. You're going to co-create with this person. And as I was telling Martina, we were reflecting on our romantic lives, that I don't care how long it takes to find the right person. I don't care if I'm 30. I don't care if I have to freeze my eggs. Like, I don't care. I'm going to wait to find someone who will love me in my entirety in a healthy, beautiful way, that's on my level, that understands my complexity, that has the same value system as me, that won't try to control or own me. Yes. That we know the capacity of our hearts for love and how much we will care and provide and, like, adore the person we end up with. It's up to us to guard our hearts instead of try to change them.
Oof.
And that's the balance. Your options on the table are to become a shell of yourself and to become cold and pretend that the way that we're made and operate is bad, or you simply filter the shit out of everyone that tries to come and get access to it. And that's what, like, my life has looked like. And I have no regrets about that, honestly.
I admire how selective you are to share your sacred space with men and with the woman in your life. You are so discerning to who is deserving of your energy, and that's something we could all learn. I look up to you for that.
I love you.
I love you.
It's not easy.
But still, though, the way that you pray, your faith in God, and your ability to stand on your own and wait patiently, there's something to be said about that.
I just feel like at this point, we're not dating casually. Like, it's like there's nothing casual about my love. That's the real realization I've had, and the privilege to have had at this young age, where our society and our generation tells us that it's okay, like, you know. But in reality, I think because of our depth, because of who we are, the package we carry, like, come on, we take good care of ourselves. We know how to cook. We're excited to live. We're well-traveled, well-spoken, well-educated. Like, it's the bare minimum to find a partner that will inspire us and even push us further than where we're already at. That's how I feel.
Amen.
Someone in our lives to lift us up even further.
Ooh, yes. And then we'll have our babies running around.
And then we can have babies. I do believe you're going to be one freaking amazing mother, Martina.
Really, too.
I do believe it. And all of your life experiences, you should have zero regret. Everything we've been through, good and bad, up until this point has made us who we are.
Oof, yes, it has.
I don't want to hear that you ever look yourself in the mirror and it's your imagination, or it's, I don't recognize her. Because, yes, that may have been a period of our lives in different forms. You know me very well. But today, who we look at in the reflection, it's 2020, 100% clear. Like, I take full accountability for who looks back at me in the mirror today. And you should too. Because the girl that's looking back at you in the mirror retaught herself how to walk. In literally less than a month.
Wow.
Like, you have so much to be freaking proud of.
Thank you.
People I don't think people fathom, like, what that's like. The courage to not give up.
Yeah. It's our fight for life.
Yeah.
You know, we're all carrying our own cross.
Yeah.
And I truly feel that if you believe, exactly, it will be. Jesus will heal you. Miracles exist.
I'm so proud of you. Is there anything else you feel like you want to say to everybody listening about us, about your journey, about whatever you want?
I just want to say, if you all could learn anything from Adeline, because Adeline does so much talking about other people, but if you all could learn anything from her, it's about the depth that you can share your heart with those around you and truly care and honor the other person, because there aren't many people who will really give a shit about you, to be honest, who are really going to fight for you and be on your side and show you and remind you that you are enough and that you are worthy and that you are a miracle, no matter the day, no matter how you're feeling. But a woman like Adeline will.
I love you. Don't make me cry. Guys, I have been waiting so long for you to hear from Martina. And I keep saying she needs to start her own podcast. I keep saying she needs to get it up and running.
The one that I had with Eli, we would smoke joints. Eli's my brother. We'd smoke joints and have great conversation. Well, we can't bring that back since I can't smoke anymore.
Wow. Eli's still around, thank God. Eli can smoke. You guys are so you.
I'll just get hot box
But no, I think your story is something that everyone needs to hear.
Oh my goodness.
And you have beautiful insight as a woman as well. So many stories to tell.
Everybody get in the woods.
Everybody take your shoes off, run around. Run around.
Be naked, run around wild.
She's a hippie, man. Look at
Grow your armpit hair.
Throw your arm. I think that's enough for today. All right, I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed our talk. Martina, blow kisses. Bye, Habibati.
Bye. Oh my god, that was fun.
That was so cute.
حبيبي يا عيني يا عيني يا ليلي يا مسهر عيني